Greetings, Eric Brown, MOBO-Media, MOBO-Media. Hey, we just bombed Iran. We just bombed Iran. We hit the nuclear sites, supposedly 3 nuclear sites in Iran. This has been, man, a long time coming. At some point, you kind of knew the U.S. was going to try to pull the trigger on this, particularly when Israel made the decision to go ahead and start a conflict with Iran. So a lot of folks are saying, is this the beginning of World War III? Will this start World War III? Well, I can't say whether it will or not, but I will say that our strikes on Iran right now is being met with a lot of opposition, a lot of fury from the international community, folks around the world and other countries. And so they feel that, Israel unjustifiably attacked Iran. And, that's yet to be seen. The reason I say yet to be seen is I don't want to comment too much on that because it takes away from the focus of what I want to really concentrate on. And that's the fact that Iran is a country with a lot of mystery behind it. A lot of folks really don't understand Iran's military or the capacity of their military. But I will tell you one thing that the American public is not being told is the countries that support Iran and what they're saying. They're not telling the American public what these countries are saying. Countries like Pakistan, countries like Turkey. Turkey has even admitted that if Iran asks them for a nuke, they'll give them one. So the U.S. bombing of Iran, it may have stalled the nuclear program and obliterated it, just like the president said. But I don't think it bodes well for peace in the Middle East. I think, the president had an agenda called America First, Make America Great Again. I'm not for sure how this makes America great again. I'm really not. Iran is a country that, they talk about the proxies, they talk about Hezbollah and all the other factions associated with Iran and talk about some of the bad things to do around the world. Well, as a military veteran, let me just say the U.S. is not an angel. Let me just say that. Certainly the U.S. is, they defend us, they defend the nation. I'm a veteran. My fellow veterans totally understand where I'm coming with this. Oftentimes, the U.S. points the finger at these other countries and talk about the bad that they do. But the U.S., they do a lot of questionable things around the world each day, trust me. But it's all in the interest, supposedly, of American security and American interests. So will this start World War III? I don't know. I will say Iran is not a pushover country. We don't know what the capacity is. We don't know how many hypersonic missiles they have. We just don't know. But one thing we do know is other countries are supporting them. We have very highly advanced technical systems that can wreak havoc on the U.S. And Russia right now, I think Russia's even talking about helping Iran. It's very well known that China has been supplying weapons to Iran. So this is going to be interesting. Again, the American public is not being told about the support behind Iran, the other countries that are supplying them weapon systems and technology and logistics and all the other things like that comes with warfighting. Israel right now is just not looking so good. You take Gaza, I don't care what nobody says, that's an overkill. What happened in Gaza is an overkill. They continue to bomb Gaza. You're talking about people that can do no more than throw sticks and rocks, but you're using all these highly advanced weapon systems to try to quell them or try to make them submit. Submit to what? They're already poor. What do they submit to? They're poor. These people have nothing. You corral these folks into a corner of a landmass that's that should be spread out a lot wider for that number of people. And so they're not innocent in this. And so I think right now with them striking Iran, they just took it to another level. They took it to another level. Again, we're not being told about the real anger of the other countries that are supporting Iran or backing Iran. And let me tell you again, I will say this again. Yes, they say that our U.S. military has the best weapon system. We have the best military. We have the yada 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 yada. Well, sometimes, you got to reserve some of that thought process for the unknown. You don't know what these countries have. You don't know who's supporting these countries, who's financing these countries. You don't know really what the technology is. But the fact remains that the U.S. has got the world thinking that it is a world power. And until someone shows us otherwise, I guess we are. But this may be it. Iran is, they have a lot of closed-door meetings with a lot of other countries. You can best believe they're making pacts and agreements on weapons and delivery of weapons and that sort of thing. Now, the president has said that they won't be committing ground troops, but let me just tell you, there have been a lot of conflicts and wars we've been in where they say we won't be committing ground troops. So that's BS. You don't know what's going to happen because it's going to depend on, Iran's response, whether we put boots on the ground. We do not want boots on the ground, but once you start attacking a country, and you're talking two countries attacking one country, when you start doing that, then you force a country to, how can I put this? You force them to be in a mindset that, they don't give a damn. They have nothing to lose because you're destroying them. So I think we need to be mindful and careful of that. But I think at some point, boots are going to be on the ground. In fact, boots are already on the ground in there. Trust me. I've worked with military. I'm 22-year Air Force veteran, worked with the Special Forces guys, SEALs. And so let me tell you, man, Israel is not doing this alone. We got boots on the ground there helping out. And even to help to pinpoint the location of some of these strikes, man. It takes, I work with my Air Force counterparts who are very good at that. And the Army guys are the experts at this stuff, pinpointing it for military aircraft. But hey, I don't know if this is going to start World War III. I don't know. It doesn't bode well for peace. We talk about the bunker buster bomb, them building this bomb that can penetrate the earth and then explode below the earth. I've always said that the U.S. is real good with coming up with ways to kill. They come up with munitions and bombs and bullets. But rarely do we see the U.S. come up with ways to love. And I'm gonna always stick with that because I believe that, love is more important than bombs and bullets. And so I would like to see us use our minds to create environments of peace and love rather than environments of war and conflict. So, hey, with that, this is Eric Brown, MOBO-Media. We're in a predicament right now because we just attacked a country that, they've been around for a while and they've got a lot of support from other countries. And so it is yet to be seen where we stand in the midst of all this. But let's just pray, stay safe, stay vigilant. We're in new times, man. And oh, by the way, one other thing I want to say, that history shows that anytime an economy is doing bad, a war started. Wars, they do things to economies. For some reason, the U.S. believes that wars help our economy. Obviously, these bombs and bullets are being built by defense manufacturers here in the U.S. And so maybe that's the mindset. Maybe selling bombs and bullets will fix the economy. And if you don't know, most of our spending for the government goes towards bombs and bullets, the defense spending. Do your homework. With that, Eric Brown, MOBO-Media. Hey, doing a post-workout walk and thought I'd just chime in on the current events with U.S. bombing Iran. Hey, y'all take care. Bye-bye.